Poor man asked a billionaire one question. His wife's photo changed everything. The rain hammered down on the cracked pavement outside the towering glass gates of Harrington Estate like it was trying to wash the city clean. Jamal Carter stood there soaked to the bone, clutching a crumpled envelope in one hand and the frayed strap of his old messenger bag in the other. He had walked 3 miles from the bus stop because the last of his change had gone to his daughter's fever medicine the night before. His boots were leaking, his coat was thin, but his jaw was set. He wasn't leaving without answers. Inside the gates, security had eyed him like a stray dog that wandered too close to the wrong yard. But when he said the name, Elias Harrington, and mentioned the photo he'd seen online, just a glimpse from a charity gala snapshot, something shifted. A guard made a call. Minutes later, the wrought iron gates swung open with a low groan. Jamal stepped into a world that smelled of money, polished marble, fresh-cut flowers, the faint hum of wealth. A butler in a crisp black suit led him through halls lined with art that probably cost more than Jamal's entire life. They stopped at double oak doors. The butler knocked once, then opened them. Elias Harrington stood by a massive window overlooking manicured gardens that stretched into mist. He was tall, silver-haired, dressed in a charcoal sweater and slacks that looked casually expensive. At 72, he still carried the presence of a man who had built an empire from nothing, or so the headlines said. Tech, real estate, philanthropy. The kind of billionaire who donated hospitals and named them after himself. Jamal's heart thudded. He hadn't rehearsed this. He just knew he couldn't sleep anymore, not after scrolling late one night and freezing when a society page photo popped up. Elias at a fundraiser, smiling politely beside a framed portrait on the mantel behind him. The woman in the frame had warm brown eyes, a gentle smile, the small scar above her left eyebrow from a childhood fall off a bike. It was Aisha, his wife, dead 5 years now from the cancer that ate her slowly while Jamal worked double shifts to keep the lights on. Jamal cleared his throat. His voice came out rougher than he intended. Mr. Harrington. Elias turned. His eyes were sharp, assessing, but not unkind. Mr. Carter. You came a long way in this weather. Jamal didn't waste time on pleasantries. He pulled out his phone, hands shaking slightly, and held up the screenshot he'd saved, the one showing the photo clearly. He looked straight into the billionaire's face. Why is my wife's picture in your house? The room went still. Rain tapped against the glass like impatient fingers. Elias didn't flinch. He studied the screen for a long moment, then walked to the fireplace across the room. Above the mantel hung the portrait in question, larger than it had appeared online. Aisha, maybe 35, laughing softly at something off camera. The frame was simple silver, no ostentatious gold. Just her. Come here, Elias said quietly. Jamal hesitated, then crossed the Persian rug. Up close, the photo felt alive. He could almost hear her voice saying his name the way she used to, soft, teasing, full of light even on the hardest days. Elias reached up and lifted the frame gently from its hook. He turned it over. On the back, taped neatly, was a small envelope. He slid it free and handed it to Jamal without a word. Jamal's fingers felt numb as he opened it. Inside was a single folded letter. The handwriting was Aisha's, looping, familiar, the same script she'd used on birthday cards and grocery lists. My dearest Elias, if you're reading this, then I'm gone, and you've kept your promise. Thank you. I know it wasn't easy for you to stay away, but you did it for me. For us. Jamal's breath caught. He looked up at Elias, confusion twisting into something sharper. Keep reading, Elias said, voice low. Jamal swallowed and continued. You were the brother I never had. The one who showed up when no one else did. When Mama died and the hospital bills buried us, you were 19 and already making your first million, but you still sat on that plastic chair in the hallway every night, bringing me coffee and telling terrible jokes until I laughed through the tears. You paid for my college when Daddy said no girl needed more than high school. You drove me to every interview, waited in the car, cheered louder than anyone when I got the teaching job. And when I met Jamal, you stepped back. You saw how he looked at me, like I was the whole world, and you let me go. You never asked for credit. You never told him you were the reason we could afford the little house, the honeymoon in the mountains, the treatments when the cancer came. You said it was my story to tell, or not tell. I chose not to. I wanted him to love me for me, not for the shadow of your kindness behind me. I wanted our life to be ours. But now I'm gone, and I need you to know, Jamal is a good man. He's struggling. Our daughter, Layla, she's 12 now. She's smart like her mama, stubborn like her daddy. If anything happens to him, if life gets too heavy, please look after them. Not with money thrown at them like charity. With the same quiet love you always gave me. You've built something incredible, Elias. But don't forget the small things. The coffee, the jokes, the hand held in the dark. Thank you for being my family when I needed one most. Forever your little sister, Aisha. Jamal's knees buckled. He gripped the back of a leather chair to stay upright. Tears blurred the ink. He read it again, and again. Elias watched him silently. When Jamal finally looked up, the billionaire's eyes were wet too. She never told me, Jamal whispered. Not once. All those years, the hospital didn't chase us. The mortgage never got foreclosed. I thought we were just lucky. Elias nodded slowly. She asked me to keep it quiet. Said you'd figure it out someday, or you wouldn't, and either way, it didn't change who you were to her. Jamal stared at the letter like it might vanish. Why didn't you say something after she passed? Because she made me promise. And because I didn't want you to feel like you owed me, or like your marriage was built on something hidden. Elias paused. But when I saw your name in the news last month, layoffs at the warehouse, single dad fighting for custody, I couldn't stay away anymore. I had my assistant reach out anonymously. When you showed up here today, I knew it was time. Jamal wiped his face with his sleeve. You didn't have to let me in. You could have turned me away. I could have, Elias said. But Aisha would have been disappointed. They stood there for a long time, two men who had loved the same woman in different ways, bound now by her words. Finally, Elias spoke again. Layla, how is she? Jamal exhaled shakily. She's brave. But the apartment's too small, the school's underfunded. I'm working nights now. Barely see her. Elias nodded. I have a foundation, scholarships, housing assistance for families who've lost a parent to illness. It's not charity, it's what she wanted. And there's a teaching position open at the academy we funded downtown. Music and literature. She always said Layla had her voice. Jamal looked at him, searching for strings, for the catch. There are no strings, Elias said. Just a promise kept. Jamal folded the letter carefully and slipped it into his pocket. He glanced back at the portrait. Aisha's smile felt different now, still hers, but layered. With secrets she'd carried so lightly. He extended his hand. Thank you, for everything you did for her. For us. Elias took it. His grip was firm, warm. She was the best part of me, Jamal. And you're the best part of her. Outside, the rain had eased to a soft drizzle. Jamal stepped back toward the doors, the envelope heavy against his chest. At the threshold he paused. Can Layla meet you someday? Not for anything big, just to know the man her mama called brother. Elias smiled. Small, genuine. I'd like that very much. Jamal walked down the long driveway, the gates opening ahead of him. The world looked the same. Wet streets, distant horns, the grind of ordinary life. But inside him something had shifted, like a door long locked had finally swung wide. He thought of Aisha's laugh, the way she'd squeeze his hand during chemo and whisper, "We're going to be okay." He'd always believed her because she believed it. Now he understood why. He pulled out his phone and texted Layla. Coming home early, baby girl. Got something to tell you about your mama. Something beautiful. The reply came almost instantly. Love you, Daddy. Hurry. Jamal smiled through fresh tears and started walking toward the bus stop, lighter than he'd felt in years. The photo on the mantel had changed everything, not because it revealed betrayal, but because it revealed love. The quiet, steady kind that doesn't shout. The kind that builds lives without needing applause. And in that moment, under a clearing sky, Jamal Carter carried it forward.